On Barry Charles' Footy Show today, Lachlan Galvin galvanizes the Bulldogs as he's about to bite back at the Tigers. Is Luai, can he do anything about it? This Sunday. Ryan Papenhuyzen to R360. That's the talk of the town. Jett Cleary, Nathan Cleary 2.0. Should he be the Warriors halfback in the weeks to come? And Jonah Pezet, with Jerome Hughes signing long term. Is it time to say au revoir so he can get first grade footy into him? Let's find out right here, right now at Barry Charles Footy Show. Welcome back, guys and gals, to the channel. And yes, let's get to it. Lachlan Galvin has galvanized the Bulldogs, 2 wins in a row. And they are ready to rock and roll into finals oblivion. They went close against the Panthers, 8-6. Can they get better to beat them later on if they need to in the finals football? They will time to tell. But yes, we've got the head clash. Yes, we got the Tigers. Yes, hate's a strong word, but the Tigers absolutely even despise them. They are not fans of Lachlan Galvin, the club, the players, the coach, everything in between. They want him to do well, but they secretly do not like the way he left. That is the bottom line. And yes, can Luai turn it around for his team? It's been one of the quieter years for Luai. Obviously not been in the top team and the bottom cellar dweller team. It's a totally different situation for him. I feel like it's going to be a Galvin frenzy. I think the Bulldogs are going to blow them away. I think the first half will be okay, but the second half it'll be all Bulldogs. We'll find out on Sunday, but there could be fireworks, there could be punch-ups, there could be anything in this game. But yes, Lachlan Galvin to turn it around. Jett Cleary, absolutely carved up in reserve grade with 2 tries. The way he was running was like Nathan 2.0. Will he be potentially selected if Tanner Boyd again fails this weekend against the Dolphins? Are they going to go for Jett Cleary? People say it's too early. Well, if you're good enough, it's not too early. He's been impressive. Tanner Boyd, we'll see. He's choked sometimes in terms of icing the games, like a Kyle Flanagan. They'll need to do something about it if they want to go to the highest level of them all. You look at past players for the Warriors, James Maloney, Reece Walsh, Chad Townsend, a few other players they've come here to the club to get their start, and then they move back for bigger contracts in Sydney. And unfortunately, I'd expect Jett Cleary is going to be a similar situation. He could end up back at the Panthers once he's done a bit more development, because he wasn't going to get as much development at the Panthers, because the question marks over whether he was good enough was some of the questions out there. Do I think he should play? Well, if the Warriors continue to lose, they've got nothing else to lose. But do I think he should play? Time will tell. Is Tanner Boyd the answer for the Warriors long term? You could probably argue not. For what I've seen so far, he's been okay, but again, cagey. But you've got to give him a bit more game time to be fair to really judge him this early. We'll see. But if they fail in the finals and he's still there, then maybe they got your answer there. But should they just pick him? Maybe they should, but time will tell on that one. Yes, well, let's get to Jonah Pezet, or what's happening there. He could have gone to the Knights last season, so they suggest to me you can rule the Knights out. If he didn't want to go to the Knights then, why would he go to the Knights now? They're a rebel. And plus, I don't think Knights are going to have that sort of money that they had before, because they put it all into Dylan Brown. So what about Eels? They got a lot of money in Moses as well. So there's big talks that Eels, if you want to go to a team to learn after someone, they would be a good team. So with the Broncos, if you've got Anna Reynolds and Ben Hunt, if you want to learn, but again, you might be sitting there for another year. I think the Eels, he'd potentially go straight into 6, but no guarantee. And then you look at the teams that he'll go straight into: the Titans, the Dragons, the Cowboys, the Tigers. Dragons, well, with Shane Flanagan, you never know what's going to happen there in terms of his loyalty to Kyle Flanagan. So maybe that's not the right choice. The Titans, he definitely could be 7. I can see him playing 7 there, but does he want to go there? The Cowboys, I can see him playing 7. Will he want to go there? And they keep dealing at 6. That's a potential. And the Tigers. But to be honest, any of these teams really title contenders? Maybe the Broncos. But the rest, I don't see them be titles contenders next year. But where do you go? Potentially, the Tigers could be the biggest upside. If they can get him working with Jerome Luai, with Jerome Buller, sky's the limits with Uppy. It could be something outstanding with the Taruvas and that's where I'd go if I was Pezet. In terms of that, unless the Eels will really want him, you can go there as well. I think Eels and Tigers for me would be where you want to go. Broncos, but then does he want to be another year behind before he gets his game time? Yeah, so it depends. If he wants to play next season, he'll be going to someone like the Tigers or the Eels or the Dragons. But whether or not he's any good for them, I don't know. He can go into another team and just disappear into the limelight. So be interesting to see how that works for him. So what about this R360? Is it actually going to happen? What's the go? Well, talks with Papenhuyzen has talked to them, and I heard the figures of nearly 2 million. No, 1.5 has been reported. I believe it's going to be higher, 2 million, if they want Ryan Papenhuyzen to hit the go mark. It was interesting he only signed a 1-year extension, which I couldn't understand, but obviously this is the case in point. Maybe he wanted to play rugby, but wouldn't you go to rugby already? Like, if you were going to go to rugby, you would have gone this season or next season. There's a chance of a World Cup, because there's no doubt Ryan Papenhuyzen would be in the World Cup squad if he's good enough to play whatever position there would be. To me, yeah, I don't know, maybe just a money grab to try and get his money up, but I don't know if he's going to get the big bucks at the Storm. They already got big money in Munster and Jerome Hughes, so question marks over that. Do I see anyone going over to the R360? It depends on money. If you tell Cobbo $1 million, then he might go. Some players will go because it's really their chance to really make life-changing money. Roger can double his salary from what I can hear if he goes to this R360. So there is opportunities out there for these players to make money, but time will tell. I think it can get up and running. These talks that maybe Saudi Arabia are not even involved. Well, I don't know if that's just ducks and drakes. We will find out. But yes, in terms of what's to happen, the Warriors have to win. They got to win. They absolutely got to win. The Tigers, can they somehow upset the Bulldogs? I don't think so. There's some really good games coming up this weekend. But anyway, that's the Barry Charles Footy Show for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.